Hey everybody, it's Robin Scherzer with Robin's Stampin' Hood, and welcome to my second month of In Color Club. This month we are focusing on Summer Splash, and we're going to do 3 cards using all the fun stuff with Summer Splash. So our first card, you're just going to cut one of your pieces of cardstock in half. You're going to do 8.5 by 5.5, and of course fold it in half. And then you're going to cut another panel that's 5.25 by 4, and you're going to emboss it. And I used the painted texture die, which you can get online. It's an online exclusive. It was in the catalog, but they've moved it online now. And so that's just going to sit nicely on the front. It's just going to give it a little dimension, a little, something, something. So then you can go ahead and put that on. Since we're not doing any stamping, I always advise don't put anything on until you actually stamp it if there's stamping on it. But since we don't have any stamping, we are good to go here. So then the next thing I want you to do is you're going to grab a piece of your 6x6 designer paper and you're going to cut it at 3. And actually it should be cut to 3 by 4. And let's do that real quick. I just cut this to 3. I cut it just right in half. So this is actually 3 by 6. So I'm going to cut it to 3 by 4. And that can be put aside. But then I'm going to cut it one more time at 1.25. Because we're going to use this and we're going to flip it to use that side there. All right. So then we're going to take a piece of white cardstock that I have cut to 3 by 3.25 by 4.25. Okay, so this is our panel that we've cut there. And we're just gonna lay that on there and outline it that way. So let's get that glue on there. Okay. And you can see where I've just got the 1/4 inch frame around there. So that's what you want to do. And then we're going to take this other piece and then put it on the bottom. I'm a glue girl. I know some of you like your tape runners, and that works too. So you're going to do that. Now I'm going to bring it down just a little bit because I want my frame to be even all the way around. And this little gap is fine because then we're going to take some ribbon. Oops. We're going to take some ribbon, some Summer Splash ribbon, just about 5 inches. Grab my ribbon scissors. We're going to cut 5 inches off. And then we're going to go ahead and use some glue dots. I always like to use my glue dots where I touch it to my ribbon. I don't like to touch it with my fingers because then it does tend to get a little untacky, and you don't want it to pick up the oils and dirts of your fingers. So now I have glue dots on each end of that ribbon, and I'm just going to wrap it around where that white is to cover up my seam that didn't turn out as good as I would originally have wanted it to. So now you have that, and it looks like that on the back. So then what you're going to do is this is just going to go right in the center of the card. Again, I'm going to use glue, and I am going to put some glue on and around the ribbon so it sticks as well as it can. Because with the bumpiness of your background, you need to make sure it's going to really be down on there. So then I'm just going to put this right in the center. All right. Hopefully that's right in the center. Let's do that again. All right. And then we're just gonna stick it down right there. And then let's grab our sentiment piece. So I'm gonna grab my Summer Sun, and from the stamp set, So Sincere, I am going to use Hope Your Day is a Happy One. So let's grab that. And I'm just gonna stamp it on a scrap of white paper because I'm gonna pull out my punches and use some punches here. So I just want to do tap, tap, tap. Oop, I really picked up some edges, so I'm going to clean that real quick. This is such a nice new pad. It's very very juicy, but just make sure you get nice coverage right in the middle. Beautiful. All right. And then I'm going to take my 1.5 inch circle punch, which you can get online if you don't already have it. And I'm going to punch out my seine. And you might have a little that doesn't fit, and that's fine. Whoops, take an eye out there, right? And then I'm going to come back. I want to grab my 1 3/4 circle punch, which again, you can get online. I don't think you'll see it in the catalog. And I just want to use that as a circle, or of course it's a circle. I want to just use it as a frame for this. You know, you can see the edges of some of my circles are a little, how you can sharpen that, and I need to do that, is take some tin foil. You want to, what's the word I'm looking for? Fold it all up and as much as you can, and then punch through it with your punch, and it will help sharpen it. And you want to do that a couple times, and that'll help get rid of that unsharpened edge that's happening there. All right, so then I'm gonna layer that together. Oh, my nails got hit. And then I'm gonna pop this up right here. And I'm actually gonna use some edges to do that because I'm gonna go over the ribbon. So I don't want the dimensional interfering with the ribbon. So I'm going to use, actually, do I have a bigger piece? Actually, I'm going to use this one over here. Okay, so always use up all those edges on your dimensionals. It's great for stuff like this because now I have kind of a straight edge that I can put my ribbon right down the middle, and the dimensionals are not messing with it. So, okay. So now, of course, we need a little bling, right? Even though we have embellishment, I know I always say you need to stamp it, layer it, embellish it. Ribbon is absolutely an embellishment, but I like my little bit of blingy, bling, bling, bling. So I'm actually going to put a large one right here. And this is the In Color 2024-26 In Color Shimmer Gems. And I always say you got to put 3. You got to have uneven numbers. So I could leave it at 1, but I always like to put 3. So I'm looking at what I have out here. Here's a little flower. So I'm going to put that in the center of that flower. And then we're going to do one more. And that is a little off. So I think maybe I'll just do it in the center of that flower there. Okay. So there's the front of our card. But because it is a darker card, I like to have a white piece on the inside. So we're going to just take another panel that is 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to put it on the inside of our card. So you can either stamp it or write in it. I don't generally stamp inside my cards. I generally just write in my cards. So I'm just going to frame that out with the back of your card. And there is your first card using Summer Splash. Okay, our second card of Summer Splash, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to have an 8.5 by 5 1/2 card base. We'll go ahead and make that nice and smooth. And we'll go ahead and put the inside together right away. It's just going to be your normal 4 by 5 1/4 panel. So you can either stamp on it or you can write on it, whatever you prefer. So then, let's put that there. Get that out of the way before I put ink on it. Okay, so then you're gonna take one piece of your designer series paper, and I took this one, so of course they're 6 by 6, and you wanna cut it to 5 3 3/4. So 5 3 3/4. So then you'll have, oops, a piece like this. Okay. Sorry, I just dropped something. And you're gonna have a little leftover piece from the bottom, and you wanna cut this to 2 1/4 by 4 1/2. So your first piece is cut to 5 by 3 3/4, and your second piece is going to be cut to 4 1/2 by 2 1/4. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and we're going to layer this, but we need a white piece. Oh, I totally forgot about my white piece. Here's my white piece. So now this again is just a regular panel, 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're gonna layer this on top of it. I didn't want it to be so monochromatic. I wanted a little bit of white in there as well. So the white panels, both your white panels on this card are 4 by 5 1/4. And then so this is just a 1/4 inch around smaller. So it's 5 by 3 3/4. Okay, so you got that nice frame of white around there, okay? And again, this piece is 2 1/4 by 4 1/2. So we're actually gonna flip it over and we're gonna use it this way instead. So we just want to have a little, we're doing a little texture so you can see the difference of stuff there. Whoops, I guess we need to put it on top of our card now, don't we? That would be a good thing to do. So glue it down. All right. Perfect. I thought it was all glued down. All right, again, we're gonna put this down. We can either do it here or we can do it here. Whatever, like I said, we're just trying to give a little bit of a texture to it. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put mine here. And again, it doesn't matter, whatever you feel is the best for your taste. Just trying to show how to use different textures with the different designer series paper. Okay. All right, and then I did cut out from, this is from the Unbounded Love die cuts, Unbounded Love. I've been using a lot of these. So now these layer on top of each other, which I love. So what I'm gonna do is from this stamp set called Saying Hey, and again, you can use whatever you want, but I thought this was funny, insert clever message here. So I'm gonna actually use that one because I think it's funny. You know what, let's see, does it go better this way? I never thought of turning it. I've always been thinking of using it that way, but you could do either way on that, I think. So I'm just gonna stamp that right here. Insert clever message here, which again, I think is very funny. Okay. And let's go ahead and put it down. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm wondering, like, would this be a better going this way? You could absolutely have done it that way, but I'm gonna do it this way. But I wanted to have a little blingy bling bling behind it. So before I put it down, I'm gonna take some of this wonderful glitter paper that coordinates with the end colors and the bow branch. And I'm gonna punch 2 of those. And you get 2 when you punch that, so I love that. Oh, mine got a little cut off, so I'm gonna do that one more time. So I have a good one to use behind. Beautiful. So I think what I wanna do is I'm going to just do this to give it a little bit of something, something. And because I'm gonna pop this up, I'm gonna put my dimensionals on top of that. Normally I would use my glue dots, but since I'm gonna pop it up, I'm just gonna use my dimensionals to hold them down. I think that'll get them held in place. And I'm gonna use a lot here. So I'm gonna use all my edges up. I love using my edges up. I just feel so accomplished when I use all my edges. I know, silly, but it's true. Look at that, I'm gonna use all my edges. Okay, and I'm just putting another one down there. And then we can just set that there. It's another easy peasy lemon squeezy. I just love the glitter paper. I know some people aren't glitter people, but I am. So because my thing's kind of going off to the side, I'm just gonna kind of do that right there. Okay, but I still think it's missing something, don't you think? So let's go ahead and grab one of our shimmer gems. And how about if we did that? We could do 2 of them right there. I know I'm always saying you got to put odd numbers, right? But I just think that looks better. Put in some space there. We could have taken our ink and inked around the edges if we wanted to, just to give it a little bit more. But there you go. There is card number 2 of In Color Club Summer Splash. Okay, we have one last card to do for the Summer Splash In Color class. So you're gonna get your cardstock, and once again, you will cut it to 8.5 by 5.5 and score it in the middle. And then we're gonna just go ahead and go and put our white inside piece, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Again, you just need something to write on, a little brighter. I guess you didn't have to put this in here, but it does really finish the card out when you do. So that's 5 1/4 by 4. So we'll just go ahead and let that be. And then you're gonna grab another one of your designer series papers, and you're gonna cut this one to 5 1/4 by 4, just like this inside panel, it's the same size. And we're gonna just layer it right on the top here. Running out of glue there. Okay. All right, and then you're gonna go ahead and grab, whoops, I'm way off there. We need to fix that. That was just a little goofy. Try that one more time. That is what I like about the glue. You have a little bit of wiggle room there in case it's totally goofy. So there we go, we fixed that. So then what you're gonna do is, using the perennial dies, you're gonna use this square, postage stampy looking square, and you wanna take some of your designer series paper. You're gonna do 3 of them. So you're gonna have the opposite of this paper. So we're not gonna use this side, but we'll use this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's see what, I like this one with the flowers a little bit better. So we're gonna start with that as our middle piece. And we're just gonna kind of line them up. Make sure they're equal on each side there. And then we'll put these on. And this paper is, I'm gonna get it wrong, but it's 1 5/8 by 4 1/2. 1 5/8 by 4 1/2. Let's put that on. And then I cut a piece of black, just a little bigger than that. And we're gonna kind of offset it here as just like that. And then you're gonna take your other piece here that you've just put together and you're gonna glue it on straight. So we're just giving it a little bit of an offset of the black, just like that. Okay, oops, let's make sure it's straight when we do that. When you have it offset like that, it kind of throws you off a little bit too. So I have a little black showing all around, but just a little different. And then I took one of these pieces from the Perennial postage stamp again, and we're gonna stamp thanks on that. I'm always looking for thanks cards, so I'm gonna pull that a little closer to me so I can see what we're doing. And just put it right there, perfect. And then we're gonna glue that onto here. I suppose you could pop it up too. I'm gonna glue it down, just right across here, beautiful. And then I'm gonna get our bling out because we always need the bling, right? So I'm gonna get the shimmer dots that go with all the in colors and grab 3 of them, right? Because we need 3. That'll be really pretty on the black there. You can see it really jumps out at you. I'll put one there, and we're gonna put one there because we always need 3. There's our triangle. So that is the 3rd card. So I hope you enjoyed the cards that we made today, and have a great day and happy stamping.